Yes, thank you. Good evening. I think we had an important meeting today, including on budgetary plans, Italy, discussing financial stability in the euro area. Good discussions where it was again repeated that we have to live in a rules-based system to make monetary union work well. These rules were adopted by all member states. And the concept of shared sovereignty that Commissioner Moscovici already mentioned, I think, played an important role. It's good to remind ourselves that indeed we are not a federation, but we have shared sovereignty in important areas, and that's really important for the good functioning of monetary union. Let me say a few more words on ESM reforms, which obviously is important for my institution. The toolkit and the backstop. We made good progress, as you heard already, and that's true. This was today another important step because we have been debating this for a while. And it's important that we make now good use of the remaining 6 weeks to come to some clear conclusions. Let me also repeat, I think that's useful, we are not discussing developing the ESM and broadening the ESM's mandate as a goal in itself. It's not a goal in itself. We are discussing it because the shared objective is to make monetary union more resilient, more robust than it has been, although it is today obviously less vulnerable than in 2010, for example. On the financial backstop, there's agreement to make the backstop as effective as possible so that we are better prepared for a big crisis. That's not foreseen anytime soon, but one day there will be another crisis, so it's good to be prepared. And to be well prepared to make the backstop efficient, that relates to the decision making. As you heard, on the one hand, it has to be fast. On the other hand, it has to be a robust process where we can be confident that it really works. It also relates to the relation between the institutions that are involved in this process, information sharing between institutions, and therefore the ESM as a creditor. This is particularly important because we need to make the assessment of the repayment capacity of the SRF, but we are working on all that and we are making good progress. On the ESM's toolkit, as you heard, we focused today on the precautionary credit lines. We have 2 of them, the PCCL and the ECCL. It's good to have these 2 instruments because they cover different situations. And they are modeled after what the IMF has. They also have different instruments for a similar purpose, and it has been used successfully by the IMF. Over the last few years, countries like Mexico, Colombia, and Poland have used the IMF's precautionary credit lines, and the experience is very positive, seen from those countries and from the ESM perspective. In the end, it's like an insurance policy, and the baseline scenario is that the country that makes use of these instruments does not need to draw on it. So what we are trying to do is that on the one hand, it becomes a bit easier for countries to draw on these precautionary arrangements, but at the same time, we want to maintain an appropriate degree of conditionality in order to lose the stigma problem, but also to make it credible as an instrument. And I think we are on a good way to find a good balance here. Let me end with that.